This is the Manticore, and if you didn't know about it or forgot about it, so did Wargaming. It's not actually the shittiest lighting in the game. That honor still goes to the Rheinmetall. This is definitely the second shittiest lighting in the game, made much, much worse because of EBRs as well. Limited by its incredibly low ammo capacity, because if we increase the ammo, maybe other players but just the collectors would start playing it, and then statistically it might get worse, so we won't do that. And we won't have to buff it because statistically it's performing reasonably well because no one plays it. That is the snippet of Wargaming logic when it comes to the Manticore. What is this about? The naval gun that does the same damage as a bunch of other light tanks at 390. Good camo, but not quite as good as in the EBR because this obviously doesn't go 90 kilometers an hour, so that's fair. And other than that, the gun sucks. I mean, of course it does. Good pen, but in every other way, it's a shitty gun, and you're limited by your ammo count so badly that you really gotta be careful on what and where you shoot. And after that, there isn't really much to say, I guess. Apart from, don't get this, don't play this. And, of course, Wargaming a bunch of incompetent morons. So, that being said, let's get into the game. But, as my chat is pointing out, this has the highest average damage of all light things. Alright, so here's your average tier 10 game. We're gonna not play any light tank roles because there's 3 EBRs on the enemy team, and that means that we're gonna get spotted in the first 10 seconds of the game, almost regardless of what we do, unless we just go back to our forest. But honestly, we can passive scout right in our passive scout light tank. It's not like introduction of EBRs completely murdered all the other tier 10 light tanks in one swift sweep. But, you know, it takes a lot of skill to drive around EBR with that improved auto-aim, so let's not give them too much shit. As far as what we're doing, sitting back trying to hit EBRs, nothing really else to do in this game. EBRs are incredibly likely to rush to D6 as well, sooner or later. Guess we're just starting off with shooting this 13105, which we cannot see anymore, of course. Nice. Not quite as good of a way of starting off your game by missing out one. What even is the percent on this ammo? It's very low, right? So that's already 10% of my ammo gone, and we have done 300 damage. 334, so very nice roll. Very nice, very nice. Nice. Alright, so this is already 15% of our ammo gone. Very competitive tank here. Don't mess with this one, as they always say. Not the Manticore, it's just too good. Everybody knows this. Wow. So that is 20% of my ammo gone. Interesting play. Almost didn't want to shoot him due to my ammo situation. Alright. Feeling good about this one, huh? Their DBRs got very limited uses out of their stupid flanking or scouting ability. Alright. So as you can see, very competitive light tank. You can't do scouting and you can't hit anything either. And you don't have any ammo on top of that, so working well so far. Usually not the kind of position you really want to peek, but maybe with this camo we can get away with it. Nice. Nice. Oh, didn't need that ammo anyways, right? What a competitive little platform this is. Well done, Wargaming. We definitely don't need to buff it, because then other people might start to play it and then we might have to actually buff it again, and we can't have that, right? Wow, we hit something. Very epic and cool. already starts to feel like more like a tier 11 than tier 10, am I right? Really have to be careful in our shots. We don't want to waste them missing EBRs as we're closing in on 50% of ammo already used. Gotta get the line of sight if I want to try to hit this one. And even then it's a fucking nightmare. Ah, got him! Got him! Enable gun is doing us all the favors once again. Shooting HE is obviously a very romantic idea, and being like, oh, I'm just gonna counter the EBR with HE, but not only I can't hit him with a regular ammo, the HE definitely makes hitting stuff quite a bit more difficult, so it's probably not really the right call here. Also, I think I'm pushing up here and trying to spot the TP, TVP and stuff. I think it's time for that now. Looks like the TVP has left the premise already. Well, we don't want to miss shots on EBRs, but we also do want to shoot them and kill them at some point, you know? So kind of need to be careful. Last shot I took was obviously not the most careful and well planned out one, but, you know. Probably, I'm not sure if I penned that 268 or not. Very possible that I didn't. Nice. What a strong light tank, I must say. We are completely removed from any ability we had to scout thanks to EBRs. And on top of that, we have a completely useless gun with incredibly limited ammo capacity. I don't know if about you, but I feel like this is so well balanced. Just such a unique tank to add to the game. Very nice. I must say, Wargaming did a fantastic job of putting this tank into the game after putting the EBRs in the game. A developer with a brain this big should be illegal in the modern gaming world, honestly. Alright, well, we won. Very cool, isn't it? Very cool. What a fun time to play light tanks that don't have EBR in their name. Very cool. Now 65% of ammo used. Nice. I did hit something blind. 268, I guess. Yeah. 1600 damage. Epic. Meanwhile, in a fucking world of degenerates, 6K spotting, 6 kilometers driven. Very incredibly talented. Driving around like a headless chicken. Incredibly skilled. And I'm just jelly because I'm bad at the game. Alright. Weird matchmaking. For our little Manticore. Let's see if we use up all our ammo in this game. Not really the optimal map for a light tank. And I really don't like to sit on the field side of this map. I think I'd rather try to counter people pushing into the middle. Or, you know, the heavies trying to get to their flank. Top tier. This is very cool matchmaking. 357 with 1 heavy, 1 light, and 1 RD. Very cool. But it honestly, Wargaming already fixed matchmaking, so again, should just stop complaining. Obviously. Alright, so pushing the tree down and not getting shit on by an EBR yet. They have a Lynx, not an EBR, I guess. So this is kind of what we're trying to scout here. Usually you can get 1 or 2 spots. Look at that naval cannon doing massive work. Needless to say also that the entire line of the British light tanks is an absolute joke and an abomination. That's a word. An absolute disaster. Basically the worst light tank in every tier. If you have this question, then your safest bet is just to say British light tanks, and generally that's also true. So, but hey, we farmed almost as much damage as we did the entire last game by just sitting in a bush. Very cool. Obviously, we give up any, you know, resemblance of map control to the enemy light tank, but it's not like we can ever take him on anyways, so it's not that it's actually like a choice that I have to make. If I want to go aggressively in the middle, I'm obviously gonna get killed by basically any other light tank in the game, as this one lacks all of those things that make light tanks not terrible in the 1v1 fights against other light tanks. Might be a question, what the hell am I doing here? And it might be a good question as well, actually, but I have nothing else to do. I don't really fancy going on that outside lane, especially with the T100 in the middle. Interesting play. Terrible timing by our EBR. He left just when this little shit peaked. So now there definitely are some, you know, validation for pushing, but at the same time, it's not quite there, I'd say. Then again, we are not really gonna be fighting this angle either. I'm kind of just sitting here to maybe get one cheeky shot in and leave this planet. Just like this. That was the idea. Execution was fine as well. Now we, I guess, try to shoot at these guys. Can very much say that this tank is, like, it doesn't really have any scouting ability, so you're ending up using this as just a really shitty TD with reasonable mobility. Man, he died in such a bad spot for me. Is it worth trying to save that guy? Not really. He's already basically dead. Already basically dead. Gotta go and try to enable these TDs. So even though we didn't want to go to the middle at any point in this game, I think now we are left without a choice. We gotta take this side in order to maybe see if we can come back in this game. It's gonna be very tricky though, with most likely Anudis and probably some other stuff camping in the back. That's why I generally don't go to this side. It's really hard to dig out the campers, and what you end up doing very often is just sitting there and doing nothing. I guess we'll shoot our 1 HE here. Kinda have to. This guy out reloads me by at least one solid reload in the middle. Oh, light tanks is so fun to play. And I still need a high roll to kill him, right? Have a Ferdinand friend coming in. And we get a 338 and get another RD shot. Very cool game. All the things is just such a fabulous experience when you're playing the Manticore. Oh man. This tank is just so incredibly pathetic, but, you know, we can't give it anything, because then it will be OP, because, you know, me and the 3 other Unicums that are playing it are averaging higher damage than we like here at Wargaming. We don't care that the tank is so bad that nobody in the server actually has any interest to play it at all, apart from the collectors and the completionists, but that's not our issue. There's not enough games to balance the tank, it's obvious. Come on now. So yeah, good job Wargaming. Well balanced, very big brain, very good developer. What can I say? What can I say? Still have one more game to go. We shall see what we can do on that one. And you know, all credit to the Manticore. Like I said, it's still not the shittiest light tank in tier 10. That honor goes to the German one, because that thing is just so incredibly pathetic in every way. Almost that fair and balanced 600 alpha on RD. So cool. Alright, last game. Let's see if we can make Manticore proud. Very epic. And this is kind of the kind of games where, you know, that damage stat comes on the Manticore. Like, you're just a useless sniper in a below tier 8 power level TD. But just because you know positioning and so on, you can do better than people will do in low tier 8 TDs. But I imagine the damage numbers on this, on average, are about the same as tier 8 TDs. And that's the kind of role you play. Alright. I mean, technically a good map for me, but as per always with this light tank, your biggest problem is that other light tanks are just better at being light tanks than you are. And they have one Lynx, which kind of prevents me from thinking about some kind of aggression on that side. Also the T100. So I think I'm actually gonna go to the hill. I might go through the middle though to get some extra scouting early. There's no arty, so the kind of play is probably gonna be less likely to end up making me dead. Also 11.8 second reload for 390 alpha. Oof. Oof. I mean, I guess it's a good thing. It takes a bit longer to run out of ammo, which is a legit issue in this vehicle, obviously. Fortunately, don't have that improved auto aim to play like an idiot and yet still get my shots off. Alright, so we did some spotting here. That's fine. Would be nice to not get shit on here, but probably not really doing myself that many favors by driving through everything I can. Naval cannon delivers again. This light tank guy knows that his light tank is so much better in every way that he can just go and brawl with me anytime he wants. I'm not even gonna push that T1 or LT100. It's a T100, there's no LT in the name. Interesting play there, sir. Not sure if he spots me on his own, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much, honestly. Just give me a couple of minutes here so I can aim my naval gun. Alright, as we can see, a very good gun on this vehicle. Incredibly competitive is the main takeaway. Let's try this again. Hey, hey! One more attempt, maybe we'll get him. This will be the most incredible tier 8 kills, or tier 10 kills at tier 8. Oof, if he hit me there, I'd have been very sad. Aggressive Ace, thanks for the 5 gifts. Very cool, appreciate it. Alright, so we have effectively gotten rid of 1/4 of our ammo to kill a tier 8 tank. That is very neat. No, that was not what we need to be doing here. Not getting any scouting for that, unfortunately. Also, we had a T-49. What was their tier 9 light tank? Did they even have one? Oh, they had a lightweight. Alright. Wow. The middle doesn't seem to be interested. There's no arty, so this peak might look worse than it actually is. And also, they're kind of running out of hit points, so finishing them off is actually a reasonably wise idea. This absolute beast of a weapon, though. Be afraid, enemies. Be afraid, is all I can tell you. Alright, so that guy dies. Gotta get rid of these numbers, especially the close-up guys, because they're the ones scouting us. Ooh, nice. Got half of that spawning. Still obviously very good for me. Alright, so the hill seems to have sorted itself out. 1 per shadow remaining. 11 standard B, though, somewhere around there at some point as well, though, so... I should have stayed up there, I guess. Kind of a dumb push when you look at the map and the numbers that we knew they already had there. Alright. Another one. Team is sorting out all the other parts of the map, though. Apart from this one. But we'll never get to shoot anything on the other side anyway, so we'll stay here. And hope for some kind of aggression from the enemy team. Rather unlikely, but it's not that we have too much to lose at this point anymore. I do want to push up below their guns if I can to get some extra scouting. Nice. Standard B fucked up. No, he's dead. Alright. Also, I feel like I have a great tendency of low rolling all the time in this vehicle, which makes it even that little bit more enjoyable when you don't even hit anything for 390 damage with 11-second reload. It's just that added extra pleasure in the experience. Alright. Almost 5k combined. What an overpowered tank, man. Well, obviously there's not really much interesting to say about the Manticore apart from it's a complete joke. And Wargaming should really rethink their ways of balancing this game. And the fact that the tank isn't played but statistically doing well doesn't mean that it's even remotely overpowered and doesn't need a buff. And this entire British line is just an absolute joke. I don't know what they were thinking when they added it to the game, but no one plays them, no one grinds them, for good reasons though, and you shouldn't either. So that's the Manticore. How are we doing statistically in it? I wonder. 89 games, 56% win rate. Look at that tier 8 medium average damage. So good. Well played. Alright, that is the epic Manticore.